Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers, and getting listeners. Back again with another video. Yes, we are here to talk about the Hall of Fame live. This is just kind of one of those things where I was sitting here reading it, and I was like, let's jump on and talk about it. So we are here to throw strikes, get likes, hit dingers, get listeners. As always, we just got done recording another interview, getting another episode done. Always late night work here at the Miller Park Minute, but we are here going to talk about some Hall of Fame baseball live and in person. Just something I felt like doing. I was working on content, so I figured why not? But first, with that being said, we now have a Patreon page. You can support us on Patreon. Anyone who does, I appreciate you so much. You'll get exclusive content, exclusive access to my content. And then we are now on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Overcast. There's a whole bunch of them. We record live nightly. If you want to join in, there will be a Facebook link or a Twitter link. Also, live on Saturdays at 4 o'clock. It's really like 4 to 6, somewhere in there. And then SeatGeek code is Miller Park Minute. So if you want to go on SeatGeek and save $20 on your first purchase of tickets, you can hop on SeatGeek and save some money on tickets. All right, we got all that out of the way. So now just give me 1 second. Let's get the Facebook updated. I'm just putting the link out on Facebook in case anyone wants to join. All right, so we got that going. So there was only one person voted into the Hall of Fame. That was Scott Rowland. And we all know Scott Rowland very well. Scott Rowland is the only one of the 28 candidates to reach the necessary 75% support in the vote results that came out tonight. Rowland joins Fred McGriff, who was a unanimous selection by the 16-member Contemporary Baseball Era Players Committee back in December in the class of 2023. Hall of Fame weekend is set for July 23rd on the grounds at Clark Sports Center in Cooperstown, New York. That's where it's always held. This was a year where I think Bonds and Clemens and a couple others had an opportunity to get in on the contemporary ballot. They were not voted in. I believe that also Schilling was on there, but Schilling basically told him to F off, and he didn't want to be on it. So Scott Rowland got 297 votes, 76.3%. Just below that was Todd Helton at 72%, Billy Wagner, 68%, Andrew Jones at 58%, Gary Sheffield at 55%. Brewers fans know him well. Beltran, 46, Jeff Kent, 46. A-Rod got 35.7, Manny Ramirez 33.2, 19% for Omar Vazquez. Andy Pettit, this is a shock to me. Andy Pettit at 17%. Bobby Abreu 15.4, Jimmy Rollins 12.9, Mark Borelli 10.8, Francisco Rodriguez, K-Rod baby, at 10.8, and Torrey Hunter. So the next part of the list is the people who fell off the ballot. And it goes without saying, some of these guys kind of were expected to. Just because you're eligible for the Hall of Fame does not mean you should go to the Hall of Fame. So Bronson Arroyo, R.A. Dickey, John Lackey, that's a shocking one. I thought John Lackey was better than that. Mike Napoli, Houston Street, Matt Cain, Jacoby Ellsbury, Andre Ethier, J.J. Hardy, which, yep, that was expected. J.J. Hardy did not have a Hall of Fame-worthy career. Johnny Peralta, Jared Weaver, Wisconsin native, actually, and Jason Worth. Wow, some of these guys got 0 votes. That's amazing. Yeah, JJ was one with 0 votes. So, I mean, he's out. The thing with the Hall is it's the elite of the elite. So you aren't going to see a JJ Hardy, Princeton get in. I doubt Ryan Braun will get in. I mean, I guess we could have a conversation about that, but where does the line? Where's the line drawn? I don't know. I don't know at what point that you put a guy like Ryan Braun in the Hall of Fame. I don't know where the line in the sand lands, and I don't think he will. I honestly don't. I don't know that he'll fall off on the first ballot. I think he'll get some Hall of Fame votes, but I don't think that he's one to get it. And that leads into another discussion. Seeing that we're looking at the Hall of Fame right now, Helton missed. That's sad. He just missed it. And Helton was a great player. But where do you guys stand, and where does everybody stand on Ryan Braun being retired number-wise for the Brewers? Number 8 being put up on the wall. I personally think it should happen. He was a big part of this team for so long, and he really meant something in the long and short of this Brewers franchise. You can make similar arguments for Prince. They do not give out Jim Gantner's number. That was actually the point was made in one of the last discussions I had with Bart Winkler. They don't give out Gantner's number, yet they won't retire his number. So do you have to make the Hall of Fame to be put on the retired numbers for the Brewers? I mean, Molitor and Yount, obviously, Fingers, Aaron's up there. But yeah, what's the cutoff? Who do we honor as a Hall of Fame, and who do we honor on the Brewers side of things? Brewers don't have a Hall of Famer, with the exception of potentially Braun, which I think that's going to be hard with how tainted his career has been with the PED thing. I personally don't think that he is going to be one for the Hall, but he definitely should, I feel, have his number retired just because of what he meant to the franchise and how long tenured of a player he is. I think that's something that he can at least get for that, because that's what you contributed to this team and what you've meant to our team. So I think that's kind of important. As far as Jim Gantner, I feel Jim Gantner should be there, but because they have like this policy where if you're not elected to Hall of Fame, you don't get on the retired jerseys. Yet they won't give out Jim Gantner's jersey number. So kind of is up for debate. I actually want to have like a panel on this at some point. This is one of my future idea episodes, but because I'm here live right now talking about it, I'm just kind of spitballing off the top of my head. But Scott Rowland was a good player. I don't have his career numbers. I guess I could reference them as we speak. Let's see what we got. I don't know. He played a lot of years and a lot of good baseball against us. I remember Scott Rowland being awesome. Third base. He's one of those guys too he was a long time Cardinal. Kind of the bane of our existence. You know, like we've always had this thing with the Cardinals, and there's always been players that have just hit the tar out of us. And I'm sure if I used his baseball reference, I could find the exact numbers they hit at Miller Park, but I'm not going to. 70.1 WAR, 7,398 at bats, 2,077 hits, 316 home runs, .281 batting average career, 1,211 runs, 1,287 RBIs, 118 stolen bases. OBP is 364, slugging is 490, 855 OPS, and OPS plus of 122. They don't make them like they used to. Batting average isn't really a stat that we even really like. A lot of people don't judge people by a batting average nowadays, which is just crazy to me. This guy was the Rookie of the Year, 7-time All-Star. Sorry, my contacts are a little blurry at this juncture. 8 Gold Gloves, 2006 World Series, and a Silver Slugger. Played in Cincinnati, St. Louis. Those are the pain years that I remember the most. Of course, Philly. He was with Philly for a long time. And Toronto. I forgot about Toronto. I knew about Philly, but I forgot about Toronto. So, I mean, Scott Rowland was a guy that was around. He seemed to hit the crap out of the ball at Miller Park. 17 full seasons. Great baseball. That's what it comes down to. I wish that we had players that we could talk about like this, but we don't. So here we are having a Hall of Fame discussion. J.J. Hardy is out. No Brewers in the Hall of Fame. I don't foresee one, honestly, in the next 20 years. K-Rod technically could be. He's still on the ballot, but didn't look like he had that good of results. What did I say K-Rod had? Oh, this is all about Scott Rowland. We don't need to read all about Scott Rowland. We want to look at what the exact... Oh, and I lost what we just put in, too. Here we go. Complete voting. There we go. Okay. So K-Rod was the next closest former Brewer that's on this list. And he only got 42 votes, 10%. So he's got to have a huge upswing. And I think it's, 5 years that they stay on for? And they have to get a minimum. If they drop below 5%, they're off. So K-Rod very well could fall off. K-Rod is really Gary Sheffield, I guess. If you want to count his Brewers time. I really don't look at... A lot of people hate Gary Sheffield. I don't mind him. I actually have a signed jersey of him somewhere in my house. I think it's in the basement or something like that. But yeah, those are the Brewers connections, I guess, really. I mean, Scott Rowland just tar and feathered us. And like I said, I don't think we'll see a full Brewer, a guy who's played his full career with the Brewers. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see it. I really don't. So I just wanted to hop on and talk about this, kind of get the discussion started. So if you guys are wanting to have that discussion and want to participate in that discussion, drop me a comment or message me on Twitter or Facebook, and we'll get like a panel together and we'll discuss Jim Gantner, Ryan Braun, and any other potential jersey signings or jersey number retirings that we can think of, Wall of Fame inductees, that kind of thing. We'll have a whole episode on that. I don't think Lucroy was last year. Lucroy and K-Rod, which K-Rod didn't even make an appearance. So I don't know. We'll talk about the Wall of Fame if anything comes out about that, but we'll definitely cover more Brewers Hall of Fame and honorees, jersey retirings, that kind of thing. This was just, like I said, a quick thing I wanted to hop on and say because, it kind of sucks when we're getting 1 or 2 people a year at this juncture. But we're kind of at that dry spell. A lot of these guys, because they've decided to axe the steroid guys, we're not getting everybody. This should be a year where we got Barry Bonds. We didn't get Barry Bonds. I don't care what you say about what he did with PEDs. I think Barry Bonds was a tremendous athlete, despite the fact that he did the performance-enhancing drugs and grew massively. I think it takes a special talent. It's not like today I could inject steroids and tomorrow I would be batting cleanup in Milwaukee. So I'm not an athlete. I can't make the contact with the ball. I mean, performance-enhancing drugs, steroids don't make you have that skill at the game. So that being said, that is all I have for you guys tonight on this brief, short edition of the Miller Park Minute covering the MLB Hall of Fame. Guys, this is a daily show, 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on all of the platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're there. Check us out, subscribe, follow the journey. We're having a lot of fun, and we may have a special guest in the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to be uploading that content. So you guys have a great rest of your night. And as always, smash that like button and go Brewers.